Concussions are very common in sports. In fact, the University of Michigan did a study where they estimated 3.8 million sports-related concussions happen every year just in the U.S. Chances are you or someone you know has had or has been affected by a concussion. Head injuries are very common in sports, but that doesn't mean that they aren't dangerous. And if they aren't treated properly, that can lead to long-lasting effects that affect the athlete, but can also impact the people around them, like their coach, their trainer, their family. Today, I want to inform about why head injuries are dangerous, how they happen, and why and how to prevent them and treat them. And let's get started with how head injuries happen. Collisions are the leading cause. It can be like when a player hits a player, or a player hits the ground, or a player hits an object. It causes the brain to rattle around in the skull, which then leads to it to create trauma. And that can cause a concussion, which is was the number one head injury. And concussion is a mild traumatic brain injury, but it's anything but mild. Some sports have a higher risk of head injuries than others. Boxing, football, and mixed martial arts all have higher risk, but baseball, basketball, those kind of sports, there's still a risk, just not as much as others. Now that we know how head injuries happen and what they are, we can look at why they're so dangerous if they're ignored or mistreated. Ignoring a head injury or not treating it properly can lead to very serious outcomes. One of the most well-known is CTE, which is found in athletes, especially NFL players, and it can cause aggression, depression, memory loss over time, those kind of things. Another bad thing is second impact syndrome, which is when a second concussion happens before the first one is fully healed, and that can cause severe brain swelling, which can be fatal. Even if the second impact doesn't seem like a big hit, or it seems like a minor hit, it can still be fatal. So yeah, there are dangers, and they're very real, but there are ways to treat head injuries and to prevent them from happening in the first place. The first step after a head injury is simple. Just don't ignore it. Seek medical evaluation, most likely like a trainer or a doctor that's around. Next, they need to follow protocol, or not to play protocol, where they need to be monitored while working themselves back into practice. And then if that is rushed, it can lead to complications, which can create farther problems. The third thing is preventing head injuries just outright. Wearing correct protective gear can be very helpful and beneficial. Wearing protective gear and teaching proper technique, as well as spreading awareness to players, coaches, parents, anyone that's around, can help prevent head injuries from happening in the first place. So while we may not be able to prevent all head injuries from happening, we can still definitely stop them from becoming a much bigger problem. And yeah.